All right, friends, welcome to day 3 of multi-step word problems. You're going to start with your spiral. Down here, number 4 is a multiple choice. You can either write the answer here or just click and drag the text box on top of the answer that you want. Either one is fine. Our objective this week is I can solve multi-step word problems. And remember back from yesterday, looking at these keywords is really going to help you figure out which operation to use. You have to be very careful when you're reading these problems. Sometimes it gives you irrelevant information. Sometimes they try to kind of trick you. Be very careful when reading word problems. Okay, Billy was putting his spare change into piles. He had 2 piles of quarters and 3 piles of dimes. If each pile had 4 coins in it, how many coins did he have total? This was a lot of information here. I'm going to start using the cubes strategy and circle my numbers. I see 2 piles of quarters, 3 piles of dimes, and each pile had 4 coins in it. So 2, 3, and 4. And then I'm going to underline my question. How many coins did he have total? Notice it says how many coins and not how much money. Those are 2 different things. Because I know that he has quarters, he has dimes, and those all have different amounts. But it's asking how many coins does he have. Okay, and then it says and, which I know usually tells me that that's addition, and each usually tells me that's multiplication. I'm going to go one step at a time. Billy was putting his spare change into piles. That's not really any useful information. He had 2 piles of quarters and 3 piles of dimes. So I'm talking about the dimes right now. He has 2 piles plus 3 piles. Well, 2 plus 3 easily, that's 5. He's got 5 piles. Okay, the next step, if each pile had 4 coins in it, how many coins did he have total? So if you notice, we crossed out of quarters and of dimes, because it's not asking how much money he has, what's the value. We just want to know how many coins. So I'm going to cross it off so it doesn't confuse me. Right now I know he has 5 piles, and each pile has 4 coins. So I'm going to take 5 and multiply it by 4. And he has 20 coins. He has 20 coins, not $20, not 20 cents. He has 20 coins. Okay, next one. Tony and Steve were comparing their Easter candy. Tony received 4 times as much candy as Steve received. Tony then split his candy evenly into 8 piles to eat later. If Steve received 24 ounces of candy, how many pieces of candy would be in each of Tony's piles? That's a lot of information. I need to really slow down and take this step by step. I'm going to start by circling my numbers, 4, 8, and 24. And then I need to underline what is it asking? What am I going to try to find in the end? How many pieces of candy would be in each of Tony's piles? Okay, so not total pieces of candy. We want to know in each pile how many pieces of candy will there be. And then I'm going to box the important information. It says times, usually that means multiplication, and then split usually means that I'm dividing. So step 1, if I'm going sentence by sentence, Tony and Steve were comparing their Easter candy. Nothing really important there. Tony received 4 times much as candy as Steve, but we don't know how much Steve received yet. Tony then split his candy evenly into 8 piles. If Steve received 24 ounces of candy, how many pieces of candy would be in each of Tony's pile? So why am I doing 24 times 4 and not 4 times 8? That's the next number. Well, because it says Tony received 4 times much as Steve. So that's where the 4 comes from. The 24 is we need to figure out how much Steve received. This split evenly into 8 piles has nothing to do with Steve. So we're going to skip on over. Steve received 24 ounces of candy. Okay, so this is going to help me find how much Tony received. 24 times 4. So Tony received 96 ounces of candy. Okay, then I'm going to go back to that sentence that I skipped over. Tony then split his candy into 8 piles. So now I can take that 96 and split it evenly into 8 piles. And that's going to be division. 96 divided by 8. And that's going to tell me how many pieces of candy are in each pile. And that's 12. So this one is a little bit complicated. You really have to be carefully to make sure that you're using the right numbers and the right operations in the right orders. So that tells me, Tony, there are 12 pieces in each of his piles. Okay, your next step is you have a worksheet on Google Classroom, and then you have an exit ticket, and then you are done.